Welcome to the Law, Your Money, and You. I'm Roberta Sapphire, an attorney from New England, Massachusetts.
And I'm Camille Barron, a healthcare advisor and financial organizer, also from Massachusetts in New England.
Yay! And this is the behind the scenes. We've gotten so many emails and calls. Actually, we're getting calls now that they love our behind the scenes.
Yes.
They say all we need is the two of us. But we like having guests because we like getting information and expertise from other people. But why don't we start? You have an update on the robocalls.
Yes, it wasn't so long ago that we did a show on a number of scams, and particularly robocalls, because there's such an annoyance to so many people.
Horrible.
And
Worse.
it's getting a lot of profile now, high profile, even in the Federal Communications Commissions, and they're advocating a great deal. So that a lot of the phone companies, particularly the wireless ones now, are offering a way to block those robocalls that maybe not 100% effective, but a lot more effective than it has been by just doing the caller ID.
Have you tried it? Because I haven't. They seem to, they're worse now. They're leaving messages.
No, I haven't, because I just learned this not long ago.
Oh, okay. Well,
but it is something that's encouraging, because people
Yeah,
are really getting sick and tired of this.
Yeah. You know, we were talking before about when we first started almost 10 years ago, there were no robocall problems.
No, it's been a phenomenon that's really developed over the last few years, and it's going at an exponential pace. It isn't just like that, it's like that.
Well, you know, we've been getting our newsletter out, and the one coming out seems to be more than one page now. We're doing like 2 pages, and so if anybody wants to add anything in our newsletter, but in each issue now we have about the latest scams and financial literacy, and that's a topic that even 10 years ago financial literacy was out. In fact, our first show was on the Register of Deeds and the scams that people might pull with there. And it's just the same topics are good all along. There's just different things, like your neighbor goes on your lawn and they cut your tree down and this and that. But one thing that we've been doing is more on the activity coloring books and the police.
Yes, and things have been going so fast on that I can't even keep up. Tell us what the latest and greatest is.
Well, the latest and greatest is Great Barrington, which is a small town out by Pittsfield, and they have 5,000 residents, but we got some beautiful books for them. And then the East Bridgewater one is just about done.
Fantastic.
They're excited, and they're getting, what's good about the police books, they're getting bigger and better. This is the Sharon we're going to do, which was our first book. We were ready to do a 3rd book for them.
This is the 2nd edition right now, and we're into a 3rd edition now.
Yeah, we're looking for new covers, if anybody. This is how we get our ideas, is from our viewers. And this is right before the book goes to the printer. We do it in what we call a pro forma. This one was Braintree. This is one of my favorite backs. See, committed to excellence.
Yes.
Also in the newsletter, we're putting pages from the books. So we got enough stuff to keep us busy forever.
Yeah.
One of our speakers, who are we looking? We're doing the new taxes. We're wondering how people are getting along with the taxes. And what else? Should I tell them what I did the other day? Well, this is a story. I hurt my foot and I couldn't walk. So years ago, I don't know if they were there, the little robots that you sit in. Were they around then?
Of some fashion, not like today though.
Well, before I get to that, do you know Stop and Shop has this robot, this tall robot?
Yes, I've seen it.
You have?
Yes, it's been in my way in the aisles.
Oh, it's
and I got a
in your
little
way?
impatient with it, but it didn't answer me.
Oh, you talk to it, it doesn't talk back?
No.
Well, I found out it goes down the aisles to see if there's any spills.
Yes. Could I hire him to come to my house?
I don't know. But you know, there was something on the news with this fellow. Well, he used to be a fellow. Now he's a woman. And he built a robot in the shape or in the feature of his wife, but he gave it emotions. It's coming where you're not going to know where if a robot is a person or not.
Oh, how is that?
I don't know, but
They give it
doing
emotions?
this. Yeah, they give it emotions and everything.
Really?
Yeah.
I guess that's called,
Funny.
they call it AI, artificial intelligence.
Oh, that's interesting.
I guess things are progressing very
Don't
quickly
you know
in
some
that.
people who you think of a robot?
There are some who act more like robots than robots themselves.
We have a lot of people in our audience today, but we're not going to show them. But I have to tell you what I did.
What did you do?
It was late at night. I was tired. I had to get some stuff, and the only place that was open was Walmart. And I know we're really not punching. What do you call it?
We're not advertising or
Advertising
promoting
anybody.
or non-promoting.
It's just that they have these carts that you get around in. So I figured, well, I really don't like going in those carts because then it's like admitting that you're incapacitated. But I had to because I needed the stuff. Anyway, it's 10:30 at night and they're open.
They're open until midnight, I think.
Yeah, isn't that amazing? Yeah. Anyway, I get in this thing and I start up. You know when I hit the button and you go like this and you go like that. And then I'm off. I'm off. And people are getting out of my way. It was a riot. I'm going down the thing, and I meet this wonderful, wonderful fellow. His name was Gifted.
Gifted?
Yeah, Gifted. Isn't that an unusual name?
Yes, it is.
That was his real name. He was wonderful. He was showing me where the pool supplies were because they moved them, and I'm going up and down and up and down, and I'm going, wee, oh, wee. And I had the time of my life. Meanwhile, along the way, I lost my husband, Jerry. I forgot where I left him.
Have you found him yet?
You know, I found him, and I'm going, and I'm asking all the people, I'm looking for him. Oh, we heard you over the loud. Have you ever noticed in every store that you ask to, can you please page this?
Yes.
You never hear the pages.
You don't?
No, I don't. Do you? When
I
they
hear
page?
other people's pages. I don't think I've ever paged anybody.
Haven't you paged Jim?
No, I haven't, but maybe I should. I've heard other people's pages over the loudspeakers, though.
Who was one of the last speakers we have on? Oh, this is interesting. On the tires. This is very important. I got a notice from attorneys in Arizona that they had cases where a tire, if it's more than 6 years old, even if it's brand new, it deteriorates. Now this is true, and it did, and they had a case, and about how many years ago, Andy Nebenzahl,
Yes.
he was on the show, he had a case of people putting a brand new tire on their car coming up from Florida, and it burst because it was 6 years old, and warning people about that now. So
Wow.
really a
Yeah,
lot.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, a lot of what we do is the consumer protection.
So in other words, these tires, if you buy a brand new tire, you should look at the date it was manufactured.
I think the date is on the tire, so you have to watch out for it. And another thing that you have to watch out for is warranties.
Oh, tell us about that.
Warranties, are they really warranties? You get a warranty, or an extended warranty, are they really there? How many of you get warranties and then forget that you even have it, and so you don't use it? Well, I had a warranty. I won't name the company, but I had a warranty on tires. Have you ever did the tire warranties?
I don't think so.
Anyway, it was supposed to be good for 70,000 miles, and we only used it for 20, and they would not. They said, well, it went over a thing, or you didn't do that. They find a way out of it. So I tell you people, be careful. Be careful about warranties, because you may not have a warranty in the end.
Yeah. How about home warranties, things that might break in the home, like appliances, air conditioning, heating?
Yeah, well, Becca says she's had a lot of good luck with them, but I haven't. How about you? Have you?
I have not. I haven't used them.
Yeah. We do now. We don't buy the warranties.
You don't? Okay.
Because who knows?
What about if you buy something like you buy a new laptop computer or a new phone, and they offer some sort of extended coverage? Have they ever asked you about that?
I used to get them. I don't do that anymore. But I had one with a computer that nothing seemed to work on it. and they kept coming back and coming back. And in the end, Rick said he would take that computer, and so I gave it to him, and he's never had a problem. So you never know. It could be the internet in your house, or this or that. So that's to do with warranties.
Well, I have something too. In fact, I just read about it today.
Is it a you've got to be kidding thing, or it's
No,
too soon
not
for you
really.
got to be kidding? Okay.
So you know how in the past we've had shows and we talked about health insurance, and particularly how Medicare doesn't cover long-term care. It will cover you in a skilled nursing facility if you're going there, for instance, for rehab after being in a hospital.
But you got to be in the hospital first.
You have to be in the hospital first. But long-term care, what they call custodial care, it doesn't cover. So a lot of people have purchased long-term care insurance policies. Well, you have to be very careful, and you have to read every single line, because some people have had that when they go to make a claim, it's been denied.
Why?
And this was one example where a woman had it, a man had it for the parents had gotten a long-term care policy. The father had since passed, but the mother now was having home care, people coming to the house to care for her because she had some
Is
dementia.
the idea of long-term care, the idea of long-term care is that you can stay in your house? Is that what it's supposed to do?
You can stay in your house, you can go to an assisted living, or you can be in a nursing home.
And they're supposed to take care of her?
Yes. And what happened in this particular case was this person had a good experience, and was certified as a long-term care nursing assistant or something like that, and provided excellent care to the mother.
Yeah.
And so when it was time to file the claim, the insurance company denied the claim.
Wow.
And it was because of a technicality in the policy, where it said it has to be, you can get this coverage if you have this specific type of person, like a certified nursing assistant and so forth and so on. But technically, the individual they had didn't fit into the definition. So this person had to fight and fight and fight. He appealed it, and it was denied again. And then he appealed it again and just was persistent. And finally, I think they probably just gave up because it was costing them more to handle.
So what do you have to do? So you're going to warn our viewers, if they have that and they go to hire somebody, make sure that it's under the policy first.
They have to first understand exactly what the policy covers.
They really don't want to give the care.
No, at least in this particular case, you have to make sure that you read every single line, every single word on the policy, and you understand what the requirements are in order to be covered. This is true of any insurance, but this one in particular, long-term care insurance is there's a lot of volatility there because there's more and more of a demand for it, and people who have it sometimes are having difficulty getting their claims covered.
When does it kick in? So if you die, you don't get it, right?
Right. But yeah, and there's all kinds of examples where they have hybrid policies, but that's a whole other topic.
So you're the expert. Do you recommend that people should get this long-term care?
In many cases, it's a good idea, but it is expensive, especially as we grow older. So if you don't have it, there's other ways.
What happens to you?
What happens to you?
Yeah.
Well, first of all, in the absence of doing anything else, in most people's case, when they go into a nursing home or an assisted living, they have to spend down their assets privately. They have to pay privately.
Was it a 5-year thing now?
Yeah, 5-year look back.
Is that just in Massachusetts?
No.
Everywhere?
I'm pretty sure it's everywhere. I think most places now have it as 5 years.
So the idea is either live forever healthy or just go.
And the thing is that, so unlike a generation ago, where people, let's say they had a heart problem, they might have a heart attack and die suddenly. And now it doesn't happen so much anymore because there's so much medical intervention that they keep people going, which is good in some ways, but the downside is that it's much more likely that people will get to a point where they can't care for themselves anymore, so they need to be able to live someplace or have some help coming in.
Get the little cots and zoom around. No, but what about, so this, you just covered this just a second. What about the reverse mortgages with extended health care? Is that on the same idea?
Well, yeah, it is. I mean, There's a lot of requirements now when someone is applying for a reverse mortgage that they have to really understand and make sure that it's going to benefit them in the long run. It's, you know, let's say you have a situation where an elderly parent lives alone and they can live alone, but they want help
Yeah, they
with their
need
expenses
money.
paid.
Yeah, they need
It might be
money.
to pay health care expenses, or it could be just to live. And so
Boy.
some people get the reverse mortgage, and it helps free up some money based on the equity they have in their home. But it is that, just like anything else, you have to watch out for scams.
Well, not even scams. You just have to watch out. They're giving you a reverse mortgage because when I think it's the last person dies, either they have to give back all the money or the bank gets the house.
If they've gone on Medicaid, you mean?
Yeah,
Yeah,
well, you got so and so has a reverse mortgage. The husband passes, the wife passes, and then the kids think that they're going to get the house. What's left? But they don't, because there's so much money owed, and they may not. On a reverse mortgage, I think the idea is they keep getting money as long as they live. Is that it, or is there a certain amount?
Well, you can. I think that you can take out as much as you have in equity in the home.
Just equity.
Yes.
See, I thought it was something else. Anyway, I don't like reverse mortgages. I don't like reverse mortgages, and you have to be careful. You know, the interest rates are so low now that it's amazing that you wonder how the banks make money. But you know, if anybody has the where you pay your bills over the internet, do you notice? And a lot of people don't look at their bank statements. They really should. You pay over the internet. The minute you hit that button to pay a bill, say it's a Thursday or a Friday, the money's taken out of your account. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
They don't send the check out to the person. They may not get it for a week. Does anybody wonder what happens to that money that's hanging around? That goes as a bank asset. They have the use of those funds. Say they could have 100,000 customers that's doing that, holding the money. So they have the use of that fund interest-free. They don't have to pay anybody. Now, say the person gets the check or doesn't get the check. Nobody's got the money. The bank's still using that money, right? It takes, I believe, 3 months if the check isn't cash. If it's not cash in 3 months, 90 days, then they'll put the money back in your account. So in a way, it's very convenient, which I like, but in another way, it's not. It's not. So there's always something with the issues. Like, you know, like if you have another thing to make life easier is these money programs like Quicken and QuickBooks, and you download the information from your banks. A lot of times they don't download all the information.
Oh.
So you got to look. Do you look at your bank statements every month?
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's good. No, a lot of people don't. They go, why? But I got to tell you a story where we were cleaning out a desk, and behind the desk was a check from a function. This is years ago, from a year earlier.
What happened with that?
I deposited it immediately a year later, and it went through.
Oh.
Isn't that funny?
Normally, you would think it wouldn't go through because how much time has passed?
Yeah, maybe the person moved or they closed the bank account. That I happened to be lucky. And then after that, I called the person up and said she didn't even know. She says, "Oh, I didn't know the check I gave you didn't go through," but that's okay. But a lot of times the accounts are closed.
Yeah.
Yeah. What else? What else can we talk about?
Well, you know, I was listening to a podcast yesterday.
Oh, yeah, the podcast. We're going to start doing podcasts.
Yes.
And if anybody out there wants to help with the podcast, that's the latest thing.
Yes.
Yeah, so tell me.
Well, this podcast I was listening to talked about back in the 90s, I think it was.
Yeah.
There was the savings and loan crisis where banks were going under. And what happened was...
I think I remember
yeah,
that.
the banks were going under. I'm talking about the small savings banks and the credit unions. They were not insured by the FDIC. So what happened was,
No, I thought everyone was insured by the FDIC. No?
not necessarily these, at least back then
Oh.
they weren't.
Oh, I know with the FDIC, they'll just insure you up to a certain amount, and then over that, you're not insured.
That's
Oh,
right.
I didn't know that.
So what happened was, there was some shady goings on in this particular credit union or bank, a small bank. Apparently there was some connections to organized crime.
Oh,
And so the president of this small bank was embezzling
is that
funds.
around here or some other state?
It was another state.
Oh, good, I don't want to hear.
Well, it could be
Yeah.
here. I mean,
Oh,
you
I'm
don't know
sure it's been
when
here,
things can
too.
happen. But what happened was the president of the company was embezzling money
Oh.
because he was connected with organized crime. So all this money that was taken out of the bank illegitimately, it prompted a whole crisis, and there were no funds to cover what he had taken out, and one thing led to another, and people tried to get their money out and they couldn't. The banks were all closed. The credit unions and savings were
No
closed because of,
insurance?
yeah.
Oh,
So people lost money as a result.
I would think so. Oh, that's terrible.
Yeah, so you have to be careful of these kinds of things
Yeah,
with
so you
bank
think
accounts.
you're putting your money in a safe place, and meanwhile it's not. So when you put it in the credit, like there's a lot of banks advertise over the internet. People put their money in a bank over the internet that they never heard of. So they better check. That's another thing. They better check.
That's true. I think a lot of businesses over the internet, in one way it's convenient, but at the same time, it's so easy to, to be fraudulent over the internet. People don't necessarily check. And there's really no policing over the internet in terms of commerce or communications
Yeah.
like we have in real time.
Yeah, today they have the free shipping. I'd like to warn our viewers of another thing. When you buy from, whether it's Amazon or some of these legitimate places, and it says free delivery, free shipping, free delivery, and some of them say there's a difference between free shipping and free delivery. To me, it's the same. However, we got a letter and a sort of threatened about a suit from a shipping company, a lawyer for a shipping company, who said that we were responsible for about $1,500 shipping fee from the such and such place where we ordered furniture from. Not we, a client of mine, ordered furniture from. And we sent back a letter. Here's the receipt for what they bought. This was almost a year ago. You're just coming out with this now. And it says free shipping and delivery. So then the guy sends back a thing. He was the wise guy anyway. He sends back a thing which says, under the federal law, I forget what it was, FTC, Federal Trade Commission, the delivery fees have to be paid and you're responsible for them, the buyer. Doesn't matter that the seller said it was free shipping. You're responsible for them too. So I forget, but I looked it up and we sent it back. No, we are not under this, blah, 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 blah. And he says, well, you are because you're a business, and the business doesn't get the same coverage that a personal person does. So then we send back again, well, this business is not in the business of selling that product. That's just a product. It was like furniture. The product that we do is not selling the furniture. That furniture was used to, enhance a room. So you really, if you look further under this clause, you cannot ask us to pay that.
And what happened?
They stopped. We got them. But
Really?
imagine if our clients didn't come and ask, they would have. It looked. The guy had everything in order. He was trying to. So it didn't matter. They
Wow.
were law firm. You have to be very careful. You have to be very careful. Also, I know there's young attorneys out there that come out every day. When you do business with somebody, you should always let them know you're an attorney, even if it has nothing to do. Say you're a landlord, say you're selling something to somebody, say, oh, by the way, I'm just letting you know we're attorneys too, in case you want to get your own attorney or something. I mean, it could be something simple,
Yeah.
but you have to let them know. Other than that, do you have anything You got to be kidding. This whole thing is you got to be kidding. No, I think we brought up some good information. Everybody loves this. Here's how you got to be kidding back. We can't even find anymore. If anybody out there wants to design, we need a new design. We want to get a new bookmark.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And usually when I make announcements like this, it gets deluged with emails and calls. And, you know, remember this? Oh, I got a good one for you. We really, we were looking for an accountant. We got somebody.
We did, yes.
We got somebody for a new website.
Oh, that's so exciting.
Yeah, we're going to get a new website.
And one of the things that I'm really excited about is being able to, what they call embed feeds from Twitter, for instance. So
I'm not sure how to do that, but as long as they do.
They know how to do it.
You can't do anything.
So we'll be able to have up to the minute the latest and greatest news from things on Twitter, and that'll be great.
Isn't that fantastic? Yeah, we got somebody who does our Twitter, who does our whatever that other thing is called. I mean, you can't be an expert in everything.
No.
But if anybody, see, this is the first cover.
Mm-hmm.
This is the second one, the second editions. These are some of the back covers. This one is from LA. This is a list, people signing up if you want to sign up. But other than that, I think it's what you call a wind-up wrap.
Yeah, it is a wrap.
That was fun.
Yes.
It's always fun.
So to our viewers, thank you so much for watching us. As you can see, we're very spontaneous here. We don't have any planned scripts. We just have so much to talk about. Things are always going on with the Law, Your Money, and You.
Always.
So please let us hear from you if you have any ideas or have any questions. Because remember, this is your show. The Law, Your Money, and You. It's over here.
It's over there? Hold that. Wherever it is, it's the Law, Your Money, and You. Thank you all.